Welcome to The Explainer. We're all about taking tricky tech topics and making them simple.
Today, we're diving into a really critical security concept inside Microsoft Entra ID. We're going to talk about the difference between eligible and active roles when you're using privileged identity management, or what most people just call PIM. Honestly, getting this right is a game changer for securing your admin accounts.
So let's just start with a really direct question. Are your admin accounts a security risk right now? For a lot of organizations, if we're being honest, the answer is probably yes, or at least they could be. Look, administrator accounts hold the keys to the entire digital kingdom, right? They can change anything, access anything, and that power isn't the problem itself. The real question is, should they be that powerful all the time? This idea of having permanent, always-on admin rights is what we call standing privilege, and it creates a massive security gap.
So what's so bad about this standing privilege? Well, for starters, it makes your attack surface way bigger. If a hacker gets a hold of one of those accounts, they have full control 24/7. This completely goes against the whole idea of a zero-trust security model, where you're supposed to assume a breach could happen at any time. And, it makes auditing a total headache.
So what's the fix? Well, it's a big shift in mindset, really. We need to move away from permanent access and towards something called just-in-time access. And in the Microsoft world, the tool that gets this done for us is Privileged Identity Management, PIM.
Just-in-time access is, exactly what it sounds like. Instead of having powerful permissions all day, every day, users get those permissions only when they need them to do a specific task and only for as long as it takes. It's the perfect example of the principle of least privilege in action.
Okay, so how does PIM actually pull this off? It all comes down to two different states for any admin role. And understanding the difference between eligible and active is, well, it's everything.
First up, let's talk about an eligible role. Now listen closely, because this is important. When you make a user eligible for, say, the global administrator role, you are not making them a global administrator. Not yet. You're just giving them the potential to become one. By default, their access is off. It's an on-demand permission that's just waiting to be turned on.
Now on the flip side, you've got an active role. This means the user currently has the permissions. The second a user activates their eligible role, it becomes active. But here's the crucial part. That activation is always temporary. It's time-bound. And when that time is up, the access just disappears automatically. And the whole thing gets logged, so you have a record.
This little chart here really lays it all out. Eligible is the default state. It's standing, but inactive, offering only potential permissions. Active is temporary, it grants current permissions, and it's always on a timer. The whole goal of PIM is to get your admins living in that eligible column and only jumping over to active when they absolutely have to. Okay, so that's the theory. But what does this actually look like for a user? Let's walk through how someone goes from being eligible for a role to actually activating it. The flow is actually pretty simple and super secure. So your user starts out as eligible, no special powers. When they need to do an admin task, they go into the portal and request to activate their role, and they have to say why they need it. Then they have to prove it's really them, usually with multi-factor authentication. For really sensitive roles, you can even require a manager to approve it. Once all that's done, boom, the role becomes active for a set amount of time, and when the timer hits 0, their access just vanishes. And this timeline just makes it crystal clear. The clock starts ticking the very second the role is activated. Doesn't matter if it's for 1 hour or 8 hours. When that time is up, the access is gone. No one has to remember to go in and turn it off. It's all automated, which is just fantastic. Honestly, the best way to think about this whole thing is like a temporary key card to a secure room. You're not given a master key that works forever. No way. Instead, you have to go to the front desk, ask for a key, and they give you one that will only work for, say, the next hour. You go use it, and after that hour, the key is useless. It's that simple, and it's that secure. So that temporary key model is great and all, but what's the real payoff here? Why is this just-in-time approach so important for security today? Well, by getting rid of those permanent admin rights, you are directly supporting a zero-trust security model. You shrink your attack surface down to almost nothing because an admin account is only powerful for these short, controlled, audited bursts of time. That makes it so much harder for an attacker to do any real damage. Plus, every single activation is logged, giving you a perfect audit trail of who did what, when, and why. It's really a foundational piece of modern identity security.
And that is our breakdown of eligible versus active roles in Microsoft Entra.
I really hope that helped clear things up. Thanks for watching.
We put out new explainers on identity and IT, just like this one, every single week, so be sure to follow along so you don't miss the next one.